Hi there. So today I'll try to answer some of the questions that are usually being asked of us, and I try to answer them in a quick kind of 50, 60 seconds each. So the first question, that's the most important question, is who SmileGenius is, or what SmileGenius does. So SmileGenius is an all-in-one platform for dental labs. We transform dental workflows, so we are a subscription-based service, and we usually serve the dental community, especially the labs who have been underserved by the vendors since forever. And we focus on them. We try to enable them to serve their clients better when it comes to case management for all dentistry. And also not just serving the dentist, but we also supercharge their dentists to serve their patients and improve the patient communications as well. So we are an all-in-one platform for case management, for communications, for patient communications, which has streamlined the dental industry. And we are super kind of excited to help the community, not just in Ireland and UK, but globally as well. So I'm looking at the list of questions. So the second question is that how are we different from a traditional lab software? So that was an exploration that we were doing as well. So we see ourselves as someone that complements the existing system. So, for example, if you are a lab that doesn't have any lab management system, you could use SmileGenius as your all-in-one end-to-end, including the back office operations as well as the front office. But the ideal use case for us is where we are the front side of the case management and the lab operations. So the bulk of activities inside the lab happens where the lab technicians are communicating with their providers, which is the dentist, and that's the bread and butter of any lab operations. And to date, it had been underserved or poorly served by the software companies. So we have the product that supercharged that interaction and brings it to the next level, which is easy to operate, scalable, and also gives your lab a positioning of a sophisticated brand that takes care of their providers. So yeah, that's an all-in-one system. But yes, if you already have a lab management system, we sit on top of your lab management system to provide that extra layer of engagement that hasn't been there because you had been using those poor quality lab management systems, which are good for back office. Now they do a really good job at the back office side of things, but they're not great when it comes to the experience that they provide to the front office, which is engaging with the dentist. So we collaborate with them, we engage with them, but we also kind of replace them in the scenarios where you do not have a lab management system. So let's go to the question number 3, which is, can SmileGenius integrate with the tools that you already use? So yeah, so I think that answers the previous question, that if you have an existing LMS, we integrate with that. If you're using HubSpot, we integrate with that. If you're using any of the accounting tools, we do integrate with that. So yes, the answer is yes, we do that on a custom by custom basis. But yeah, we do integrate with your existing systems. And the next question is, how does SmileGenius help with clear aligner workflows? So we are built for streamlining aligner workflows, and that's our core recipe of the product. So we provide an all-in-one case management that starts from the patient submitting the preliminary data to the clinician sending the prescription with the data to the lab doing the treatment planning, submitting the case, all through the refinements and retainer stages. We can also track patients remotely if that is a style that your dentists want to adopt. Maybe they can use their appointment booking, virtual calling. So it's an all action-packed, all-in-one system that can take your aligner brand to the next level. The next question is, do I need to be tech savvy to use SmileGenius? No, absolutely not, right? If you know how to use Facebook, you can use SmileGenius. So what kind of ROI can I expect by switching to SmileGenius? So typically again, this is based on averages. We see an average ROI of 8 times. So 7 to 8 times is a typical good understanding. Now, it depends on what scale of operations you're running, how big your lab operation is. But we typically take for every dollar that you invest, you get an $8 back in terms of cost savings, in terms of the accessing those opportunities which you would have missed because you don't have the best in class tool out there. Now, one of the examples that I want to share is, yes, I think cost efficiencies when it comes to the efficiency in the using the best systems, saving time for your technicians. Sometimes, a thing that's taking them an hour to do, you can do that in minutes. So that saves them time to do more and serve your clients faster because you can do more cases in a day. But also an example of one of our clients, they want to bring production in-house within UK from some of the other global players which are non-UK. And one of the things that was stopping them was having an the best in class case management system. So that's something that they were very specific in their ask, and they found us to complement what the hardware and the production facility that they had in the UK. So it brings that layer of sophistication and seamlessness to your business, and something that you can pitch as differentiation that your lab can have. So I think that's where a big ROI is. So yes, on the efficiency side, on the cost saving side, but also on the business that you can convert, which you were not able to convert earlier. Next question is, how does the platform supports both clinics and labs at the same time? So yes, we have a lab interface where we provide the lab to operate their case management when it comes to aligners or orthodontics business or dental, full end to end. So they can add as many users, give them different roles, so you can manage your back office from there. When it comes to clinics, we allow a clinic interface, which is the doctor's portal, where the dentist can set up their profile, and they can start taking in patients and submitting you the cases by partnering with you. So there's a clinic, there's a lab. For the clinics, we recently launched our doctors app, which has been super successful in the UK. Doctors have they don't have that much of time, right? Dentists, they're busy, life is busy. Private dentists are super busy. If you think of the NHS dentists, they are extremely busy. So you are turning out, kind of the turnover is 15, 20 minutes a patient. And then you have to write notes, bring in the new patient, talk to them, treat them, and write notes. So the cycle repeats. They don't have time to do everything on the day when they are in the clinic. So we want to ease it for these dentists, and that's why we launched the Doctors app. That has been transformational. That has changed the way clear aligners are being managed by the dental community, and that's something that we want to bring to more of our clients as well. The next is, what support do you provide after onboarding? Yeah, so we treat us as your boutique kind of consulting firm, right? So we're not just a product. So we just don't hand over a product to you, but we also make sure that we are with you at every step. So that there are different ways we communicate with you, both online and offline. We appoint dedicated customer success managers just to make sure that you get that success at each and every stage. So it's not just closing you as an account. We have a job done. No, our job just starts there when you are onboarded. So we check in with you on a regular basis. We take in your requests. We create different channels where you can talk to us, and then we meet you in person once every year as well, just to make sure that whatever you bought the product for, is it delivering to the promise or not. So I think there's a multiple layers of engagement that all the team at SmileGenius would have, including myself, our product, the head of product, our, the customer success people, or even the CTO at times as well. So again, we provided different levels of access to our customers. It's a flat organization, and then you can always reach out to us. But we are proactive when anything new is being released, and we do help you at every step of the way. So the next question is, what does onboarding look like, and how long does it take? So a typical onboarding would initially start. It's a two-stage onboarding. One would be onboarding you, and then onboarding your clinics. So onboarding the lab takes, we'll jump on a few minutes to half an hour session, just make sure we answer your questions. We'll record that session. We'll share with you some of the tutorials that you can take help from after the session has ended. Then we do another session where we will onboard and assist you in onboarding your clinics. And again, so it's a two-part onboarding process, but the first onboarding takes a few minutes to half an hour, depending on how big your team is. So do you work with multi-location clinics or DSOs? Yes, we do work with multi-location clinics or DSOs. So the way we changed our approach to SmileGenius was that it's no longer a lab or a clinic relationship. It's a lab and a clinician relationship. So what we learned was that the labs were communicating to dentists and not to clinics, unless it was for invoice, where they were communicating to the accountants. So when they were talking to the dentist, the flow has to emulate the clinician workflow. So the clinicians typically, they would be floating around different clinics. So, we know so many examples. On an average, dentists might be working around 2 to 3 clinics at times to spread out their full week. So they want to use the same portal. They don't want to use 3 different logins if they are changing clinics. And we realized that quickly, fairly quickly. And we adopted that workflow for the dentist as well. So a dentist can keep just same login, and they can add multiple addresses, very similar to how you add your Amazon shipping address if you have 2 addresses. The next question is, can SmileGenius help us grow our line of business? Definitely yes, right? So if you are a lab or if you have a line of business and you are drop shipping from an OEM provider, SmileGenius is the way to enable your business to the next level to scale. We have numerous examples and case studies that we can help you with how people are using our software and are kind of expanding their business. But yeah, the answer is yes. From any stage of business you are, if you're thinking of launching your clear line of business, or you have launched but you're thinking of expanding your business, so Smile Genius is here to help you at any level. And again, the benefits, as I mentioned, is 7 to 8 times of every dollar that you will put into this particular product. So it's supercharging your business. And I think, as digital is scalable, we all know that manufacturing is scalable, but not at the rate at which the digital is scalable. So yes, we can help you expand. You can expand from one location to 1,000 locations in a single day using SmileGenius. The last question is, what kind of reports or analytics do I get? So you get all the top level analytics. We provide you with the most important KPIs that you will need for your business. So the first day, as a lab manager, when you go in, there's a dashboard that you can look at, and you can look at all the important details. So that again, we want to understand what are the things that we can do to help you save time on a day-to-day basis. And reporting, we find, is one of the most important things that the lab managers or the lab owners typically look at. So traditionally, they have been looking at Excel sheets or kind of trying to merge different Excel sheets into tabs and pivot, doing a pivot table, which is okay. But then as you expand your business, that's not the best use of your time. So we provide you with the dashboard. Everything is automated. Everything filters through that dashboard, and you can just filter out, look at the data in the way, and slice and dice it as you want. Yeah, that's the most important way we are. But again, if you go a custom route for implementing SmileGenius, we work with you to understand what your dashboarding and what your analytics need is, and you can just tailor your dashboard according to your needs and your company's needs as well. Yeah, so I think those were the top 12 questions that we are usually asked. Happy to answer any further questions if you have. But yeah. Happy to see you at some time. And if there's any further questions, we'll try to answer in some follow-up session. Thank you.